this consciousness, let us all merge with the consciousness of the one I am in the truth of us and all that is as the one I am. With each breath, let our focus point of that truth become keener and keener in our consciousness on all levels of experience as the soul that we are, as the source of Mother Father that we are, and allow our focus point as we merge with the one I am that we all are and all things are in all of existence, all of creation, through all timelines, all dimensions, in all records of history of existence of Mother Source, Father Creator. Each in-breath and out-breath, our focus becomes keener and keener, identifying the truth of us. The illumination becomes brighter and brighter within the human consciousness as the remembrance of our truth as Mother, Father, Source, Creator imbues through the human brain, the human consciousness, the human physicality of density, the human breath. We as the divine one I am illuminate brighter and brighter as we expand further and further into the cosmos known as infinity. And as our identification of the truth, in merging in the truth of consciousness with the one I am consciousness that we are, all else that the human mind would feel it has to process through or steps it has to take melts away more and more. And the energy and consciousness of our truth as divine source, as consciousness and energy increases as well as the brilliant divine crystalline sphere that all is in the consciousness of the one I am. Let us put our intention, our powerful intention, in our claiming of the powerful creator that we are as we do anchor in the truth of us more and more. We start to feel the energy within the human consciousness and the human physicality and the quotient and frequency amping up more and more, expanding more and more into all that is and into the doorway and through the doorway of infinity. Let us remember that in this now moment, claim our truth. Ma. Ma. Sunamanea, shakadea, naktakdi. Cinnamania, clippite e ku senemia la. Kunamina shile la la. Inyanyanyanyanyanyo shiklipitia. Yup, shikpatitia shitakanamininia. Ko si ti a whoop sitpatitia. Yananina shikapatu, 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 shikapatu. Yip, 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 yip. Ooh, cinnamania. Yup, shitpatitia shikat. Ruti la la la. Ma. Slayla. Shupiti. Shupiti. Le petitia. Le petitia. Shoo, 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 shoo. Ma. Ya, Jamania, Jamania. Lady Lisita Patia, Clupena, Clupena, Clupena Canati Tritia, Sita Diusipa, to Cinnamon O Sela, Ma Sulemena, La Sumenela la, Wose Tutia Kuna, Kuna, Shoo, Tepatia, Ya. Lay, Tushini, Monini Nakandaleya. Ukikatia usije dabadi ya shalala shalala la ya luli ushina minia shumania kleminia tu leli lilia lapetea shumania akililia ulila isinamania. Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
How long has it been over?
I don't think it was over.
No, it wasn't. You started channeling the light language, and I shut the volume down.
Oh, okay, okay. Very good.
And
How's
then
everyone doing?
Okay, how are you?
Good, wonderful,
Good.
wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Mhm.
So, Susan, what does it feel like when you're channeling that light language?
Oneness.
Yeah.
Oneness and recalibration, recalculations, as you said before, lots of joy, synthesis, synthesizing, harmonization, which they channeled about in the last week and have explained all of that. The synthesizing of harmonization. It's a very yummy. It feels yummy, Carol.
Sounds yummy.
It definitely feels yummy. Yeah. Yeah. So
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Susan, I just became aware, and during the beginning, before you started channeling the light language, that as I was hearing the tones of Mother Father, I heard the image that you have has its own tones.
Yes.
And to me, it sounded a little bit like chimes, but I understood, but I wasn't hearing very much of it. And I understood there were a lot more tonality that I wasn't picking up on, but I was made aware that it has its own tones as well.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm really happy to hear that you had that experience. It's all the encoded embedding of the codes. And again, the codes are mathematical equations, right? That is not only color and sound of mathematical equations, but it's the different octaves and the harmonization of sound and the different hues of color in each spectrum of hue of that one color. It is so multi, right?
Mhm.
That there is a lot of information. And that, again, that's why the preciseness of creating it. The only thing I wish that I'd love to figure out is to bring in more of a depth because it's kind of a like washout. The overall picture is, what would that be called? It needs more contrast, I think, is that what
Yeah.
is what I would love for it to have, because then it would pop the codes even more, if that makes sense. But that's wonderful. Yes. I'm glad again that you were just given that information
Yeah.
because it absolutely is true.
And
Yes.
I wasn't hearing the full amount. I just heard like a teeny tiny bit. And again, I
Yeah.
wasn't hearing much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you were first saying it, and as you're saying that right now, it's being explained that you weren't meant to right now. You are meant to just be able to receive the information, not necessarily hear the overall tones or tone the overall tones, but so that you could share, so that everyone could learn.
Mhm.
But you will be, the more, again, the more as time evolves and we're connecting and working with it, you will definitely start hearing those tones as well. So, because the recalibration that's occurring, that's been explained to me that I was sharing with you guys about the Akash, right? The input, the recalibration, and the output, right? Source mother's nucleus codes will never change. However, creational evolutionary codes that will always contain mother's nucleus codes do change as evolution happens. And so that is what that analogy, that symbolism is all about, the input, because as evolution is unfolding, data is being collected and upputted and upputted and upputted, right? And then mother father calculates it and then discerns what
outputted, new creational codes need to be outputted so that it's in alignment with their overall desire, in the big picture of their own understanding, because that's something else that has been explained again recently, is that those that use the word and perception that God is all-knowing as infinite intelligence is an erroneous and it's anchoring more of untruth into all consciousness. And they explained that they are not infinite intelligence. They couldn't be, because they're still in evolutionary understanding of the self known to us as God, right? Or the one I am, mother, father, whatever verbiage people put attached to it. It's always an evolutionary unfolding. And not only infinity can know all of infinity because it's infinite, just as God cannot be all knowing, it's on an evolutionary path towards all knowing. But to stay right now that God is all knowing is what they said. It's almost a blasphemy. They actually use the word blasphemy as symbolism, because what they've explained is they are creational evolutionists. That's the correct truth. Creational evolutionists. So, and for people to perceive God as all-knowing is just a disservice of perception that is anchoring them, in a tug of war of resistance of their own divine truth. So
Rumpus says that God only knows what you know.
that's very true.
As a collective oneness.
Yes, thank you, Carol. That totally resonates with the information that I've been giving. And actually, it's at the end of the, you made a video of it back and shared with the members. And Mother Father spoke about, like, humanity is in service to the known that is unknown. Right? So in other words, in our experience within the fractalization and the inputting, right? And as they're explaining more recently into the Akash and then the output. So that totally resonates, Carol. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's what they were explaining a lot today, that I'll be sending out, in the different teams within multidimensionality that have been serving creational evolution, such as Ramtha and Jay-Z and Carl and Awan and Sydney and Igma and Sandy and myself. And the service that were intended in the divine orchestration of bringing Sandy, Mai, and Igma's path of service in with the services overall, like Sydney, the stepping stones, the evolutionary stepping stones, right? And then merging into the oneness to then intentionally publish it into the Akash, okay, is towards the remembrance and dissolution of the individuated teams, which anchors in more separation than the truth of oneness. So that's again been explained, that's part of where we are going from the age of the Kali Yuga to the Aquarian age that we're now in, and the necessity of working as the one and not, integrating all these collectives in service into the one. So, yes, fascinating.
Yes.
And when you were toning, I was toning with you because I couldn't, I had to. It was like I had to tone with you. So I don't know if that felt weird or what, but it was kind of just pulling me forward,
Wonderful.
And then when you were doing the light language, I've had periods in my life where I've said like nonsense words like that and gone up and down and repeated and repeated. I had no idea where it would come from, but it would just come and I would just do that and then it would be over. So that's it reminds me of that. It's a memory I have of doing that. So that's very strange. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So it was successful in when I was sharing, they were sharing through me to perhaps not unmute, and that if one was toning, then it would, right, and bring in the merging. So, and I was shown that it was you. My eyes were closed, but I was shown that it was you. So thank you for the confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Susan,
Yeah.
I noticed that some of the toning that you did was the
Yes. Yes.
Enigma, that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that they explained that weeks ago. And I think even before that, that the ma, that part
Yeah.
of the of IGMA's combined
Signature,
consciousness frequency signature, and the way
Yeah.
that they taught me how to teach people to call IGMA in,
Mhm.
the ma is the key to heaven, is the nucleus codes, the isness code. So yes. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Because I was doing that in my car the other day. I was calling them in with that
Wonderful. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm high as a kite right now. I don't know how you guys doing. How's everyone doing? And I love our gatherings like this.
I do too.
I really just, and again, they channeled about flow, and just being the flow, not being in the flow, but being the flow, right? And that differentiation. So
I
it's
gotta step
beautiful.
out for a minute, so you continue talking. I'll be right back.
Mm.
You know, it's almost like we've been chosen and we're like universal celebrities in the sense that because when we get together, they know this and they kind of amplify our moments, and you know what I mean, that they pointed us out like this is, and there's probably other groups, but I know they're focused on this group, and that's why it feels so good each time we get together. Just it's a different feeling. It's a wonderful feeling,
Yeah.
of enhancement with with this evolution,
Yeah.
being a part of it and being recognized is an
Yeah.
honor.
Yes. Yeah, I resonate with that as well. Yeah, it's the yumminess of the oneness,
Yeah.
Yummy.
I was just
you
gonna
know?
say it feels yummy just being with everybody, with
It's
this group.
it's
Yumminess.
nutrients of consciousness. It's the fruit. It's nutrients of consciousness that fuels us and feeds us and aligns us in the oneness and attunes us back to the oneness. So it's like we're experiencing more of an experience devoid of separation. That's not, well, it's a powerful saying, but bastardization of oneness, right? Separation and the static, like the radio static of separation, we don't experience in these moments. And therefore the yumminess is like right there, and the leading experience. So thank you for sharing that.